Jake Paul once again proved his prowess in the ring on Saturday night, despite it not being the fight he originally anticipated. The ex-YouTuber and Disney Channel star took on BKFC standout Mike Perry at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, and delivered a commanding performance. Paul, who secured 2 knockdowns early on, ultimately won via a 6th-round TKO, sending Perry into the corner with a powerful jab followed by a left hook. "He's tough as nails," Paul said post-fight. "I'm sorry it took so long. I just hit too hard, but he took a lot of damage. That's a W, baby, I'm so excited." Right from the start, Paul came close to fulfilling his promise of an early knockout. Less than a minute into the match, he landed a massive blow to Perry's head, knocking him to the ground. Although Perry quickly got back up, the tone was set, giving Paul an early edge. In the second round, Paul landed another knockdown after finding a clear shot to Perry's head. Even though Perry got back up, he appeared dazed, and a cut over his eye began to bleed later in the round. Perry struggled to protect his face and, out of frustration, threw Paul to the mat just before the second round ended. Paul seemed poised to finish the fight in the fourth round as he repeatedly backed Perry into the corner with little resistance. Perry managed to survive but was visibly exhausted, stumbling and unable to guard his face effectively. By the sixth round, when Paul unleashed a series of punches, the fight was decisively over. The lead-up to the fight was marked by bizarre antics. Perry attacked a mascot in a deodorant costume, and Paul mocked Perry's private school education by showing up to a press conference in a graduation cap. Paul's ring entrance was equally theatrical. He dressed as a gladiator and rode in a chariot carried by others, accompanied by his older brother and entourage. Despite the theatrics, Perry was one of the most formidable opponents Paul had faced, at least on paper. Perry, a former MMA fighter, had a 14-8 MMA record before excelling in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC, where he held a perfect 5-0 record. At 32, Perry was still in his athletic prime and closer to a legitimate boxer than most of Paul's previous opponents. The loss didn't sit well with Conor McGregor, a part owner of BKFC, who claimed on social media that he was firing Perry from the league. However, it's unclear if McGregor has the authority to make such a decision. Paul entered the fight with a 9-1 record, including 6 knockouts. Most of his victories had come against non-boxers and fellow YouTubers. After winning his first 6 fights, Paul faced his first defeat against Tommy Fury in February 2023. He rebounded with a win over former UFC star Nate Diaz a few months later, and has since secured 3 consecutive wins, including back-to-back knockouts. Initially, Paul was scheduled to fight boxing legend Mike Tyson on Saturday, but the bout was postponed to November after Tyson encountered a health issue on a flight earlier this year. Tyson, now 58, hasn't fought professionally in years, yet the match at AT&T Stadium is still expected to take place. After his victory on Saturday, Paul is set to recover and focus on his upcoming fight with Tyson. He promoted the bout immediately after his win, insisting that it would indeed happen. What lies ahead for Paul following the Tyson fight remains uncertain, but his career trajectory continues to be one of intrigue and spectacle.